It's Aleya Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast.
Everyone loves the tease. Stop.
Don't get too excited. She dropped me off on the side of a highway at a Cracker Barrel at 11 p.m. at night. My Lyft app was not working, and I had to hitchhike home with a Cracker Barrel employee and her mom. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tease podcast. I missed you, bitches. I cannot believe that we are on our third episode. I am still so shy. I feel like when you're in a new relationship and you're like, yes, I know we made it past that first step and I fucking love you, but I still gotta be on my A game because I don't want to lose you and we're still in the phase where it is possible. Anywho, I do want to thank y'all first of all for tuning in to the first two episodes. I am so happy to say that we have over 3K Spotify impressions, which is really surprising. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know if there's some secret one of yous that maybe don't really like me, but you watch it. Who really knows? I don't fucking care. I also noticed that I have a 20% area of non-binary watchers and listeners. And I just want to say, hey, sexies. This week has been a very crazy week, but let's start with today. So today I wanted to get in the podcast spirit. I wanted to make sure that I was very candid and in the right headspace to talk to y'all. So I actually haven't been to the gym in 3 months. Okay, I went last week, but I went once that week and then I didn't go ever again. And I thought, what's something that really gets my blood flowing, my thoughts going, and that really just makes me focus? And I thought, oh my God, I should go to the gym. Plus, I felt like that would be a better use of my time when I first woke up, because yesterday when I first woke up, I scrolled through Instagram immediately and felt like absolute shit about myself. I later had a mental breakdown, was crying under the covers, and I think I kind of scared my partner a little bit. That is what happens when you have anxiety. But I thought, let's do a better use of my time. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm not going to go on any social media at all. I was no social media until I get back from the gym. So I go to the gym. It is 9:30 a.m. and I was super excited because I was like, oh my gosh, it is going to be dead man's land, no fly zone. No one will fucking be there. And here's the thing. I am extremely, extremely gym shy. I cannot work out at the gym if I know that there is going to be a ton of people there. I don't care how I look. I don't care if I am the world's strongest bitch. I cannot go to a crowded gym. Even when I start a new gym, I make sure that the first time I ever go is with someone else, because the last thing I want to do is walk around and look at all the machines and not know where to go. And then there's a ton of men there and they're staring at you, and I just feel have you ever been at the gym and you know that you're looking for a certain type of equipment? You're looking around for it, right? And you just can't find it. So then you feel like everyone's staring at you and they're like, oh my God, does she know how to do it? Or worse, you find the piece of equipment, but you don't know how to fucking work it. And that is me all the time. I don't know how to work it, or I don't know how to adjust it. I may know how to work it, but then I get there and it's on knob 83 for a 6'2" guy, and I'm trying to lift it up. And then it gets worse when a guy then offers to help you. I would rather struggle. I would rather go on my phone right now and look at a YouTube video on how to work this machinery than talk to a stranger at the gym. I was really excited that it was going to be empty. I pull up in the parking lot, 2 cars were there, and I was like, oh my God, I'm wet. Pussy throbbing. I'm about to have the whole weight room to myself. I'm sitting in the car drinking my pre-workout, and a guy honks at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm literally parked legally. And he's like, hey, is it open? And I was like, it should be. And so then he's like, well, I've been waiting and I drove 45 minutes to come to the gym. I walk up there and it says closed for Juneteenth. And here's the thing. Clearly, I care about Juneteenth. I mean, freedom, right? Freedom for Black people, right? I'm Black. I actually really love Juneteenth, and I can't even believe that it wasn't celebrated way longer ago. Not gonna get into it. But the fact that you would close the gym on a military base sounds completely against whatever it is you're trying to do. Because here's one thing. Most people that go to the gym are Black. Like, going to the gym, I would say, is like a part of our culture. Like, we love working out. All of my family works out when they can. I work out. And even if we don't work out, we always think, man, I should probably work out eventually. So you're gonna close the gym on Juneteenth? Not to mention, at these gyms, I know that there is not one Black employee. There is not. I have been there so many times. I think that there are so many different ways to celebrate than not letting me go to the gym. And the reason why I've been wanting to go is because, one, my base access expires in like 2 weeks because Kai is not going to be in the military anymore, so he can't keep writing me notes to go on as I'm a visitor. Yeah, so I can't go anymore. And then also, I am going on a boat next week. I actually haven't been on a boat in a long time, and I will be wearing a bikini. I did not know that people wear regular clothes on boats until I moved to Seattle, which, like, is fine, but if I'm gonna be on the water, I want ass out, titties out. My bikinis look like a fucking thong, which means that I need to go to the gym if I'm going to dress like that. So I'm very discouraged, and I decide to go ahead and go to another gym on the complete opposite side of base. It's like 10 minutes away. I pull up, and the first thing I see is a guy walking out of the doors in jeans. I need to know. Put your hand up. If it's you or your man or your friend or your dad, who is letting these men wear denim jeans to the gym? The audacity. Here's why it really bothers me is, one, it just doesn't fucking make sense. How are you gonna drop it like it's hot and squat? If you're in blue jeans, like if I tried to work out in these right now, my button would pop off, my whole jeans would just fly off, and I would probably be fucked. Second of all, this just goes back into how men can get away with wearing or looking like whatever. If you're gonna go somewhere, dress appropriately. I want you to imagine that you're at the gym, right? And a woman comes in and she is wearing jeans. Completely unacceptable. What is she doing here? This is why girls can't work out, because they wear jeans to the gym. What kind of fashion show is this? You see the double standard, but men just get to waltz up here in their denim jeans. I need to know who is sucking their dick. Who is sucking these men's dicks? I quite often wonder that with a lot of different people. Here's the thing. When you go for the guy that is below you, right? You may think, oh, I'm being a good person. I'm looking at personality. What you are doing is giving these guys an even bigger ego and making them so insufferable that they would find it okay to wear jeans to the gym. I can't do it. My best friend's mom always says, if a guy is mean, unkind, ugly, stupid, what's the other one? And doesn't have money, then what is he good for? And I just want you to think about that next time you're thinking of giving someone a chance that you know you shouldn't, because it is plaguing us all. That was my little escapade at the gym. I did eventually go. I listened to Sexy Red's entire new album, which is a great motivator if you need that. It will get you through every ab crunch. I've been wanting to make a workout video, but I will do that once I start going to a new gym, because the problem with the one on base is that you can't wear sports bras. And I have to admit that definitely takes away some of the experience, which I think is why I have a hard time going consistently, is because what's the point of working out if you can't get a gym pic? I'm sorry, but what is the point of working out if I can't wear my little booty shorts, a little sports bra? But what's the point of working out if I can't take a gym pic? There is no point. There is no point. There is a point, but it definitely does make it a lot harder. Earlier this week, I actually filmed a YouTube video. I don't want to say what it is because I did not read the contract and I have no idea what the terms are, but it included me and Kai being hooked up to a lie detector, which was extremely interesting. Here's the thing about lie detectors. I have no idea if they work or if they don't. I've been told that they can tell when you're lying, and I've also been told that the only thing that tracks is your heart rate, your anxiety, which would make sense because when I went on, she was like, are you okay? Like, are you nervous? And I was like, why? And she was like, your heart beating's really fast. And I was like, oh, I have anxiety and I have not smoked. That is what you're going to assume. We went on a lie detector. It was pretty cool. One of the things that I also had to do was drink hot sauce. It was not worth it. That shit fucked me up. I was laying in my car for 2 hours, just so sick. The very next day, it felt like I had a fire in my stomach and like I was literally going to explode from a ball of heat. So once that YouTube video does come out, I will be sure to share it so that way y'all can tell me it was all worth it. Y'all are probably gonna be like, Aleya, this was the dumbest thing ever, but let's hope. I just want people to know about the podcast. Other than that, I went around Seattle. I put up flyers for the pod. If you've seen it, I put them up in Capitol Hill, which was a lot of fun. Other than that, nothing too big really happened this week, except for one other thing that has really caused me a lot of pain. And I know I'm saying it very monotone, but I think it's because whenever I talk about my issues, I don't like to get too emotional about it because I can either be stone cold, no emotions, or like I can't stop crying. I recently went through a breakup, and it wasn't a boyfriend breakup. It wasn't a girlfriend breakup. It was the worst kind of breakup. It was a friendship breakup. It was with a friend that I did not expect to end, and I have gone through many friendship breakups in my life. The weird part is I've never actually had a real relationship breakup. So Kai is my first relationship, and yes, we did break up in January, but even then, like, we still lived together, you know, and we broke up so that way we become a better couple. So it's not like we were breaking up because it's over and we don't like each other anymore, you know? But I've never actually had like a relationship breakup. Fuck you, I'm giving you back your stuff. They text me all the time. Like, I've never actually had that. I think that one of the reasons for that is because I just didn't really want to date. Before Kai, I had genuinely no interest in relationships. And I don't mean that as someone who's like, you know how people front and they say, oh, I don't want a relationship, but secretly they kind of do. No, I genuinely thought that like relationships sucked. My dream for my life was I am going to be a boss ass bitch. I am going to have my own company. I'm going to work for myself, and I'm going to have like a girlfriend, and we're going to live together, but like we're not married. And then we just like live our happy life like that. And I was perfectly content with that. That's actually what I had wanted at first. But I have to say I am happy with where I'm at now. But yeah, I just didn't see a cause for relationships. I think it's also because I didn't just grow up with a single mom. My mom's mom is a single mom too, and my great grandpa died, and so I pretty much for all of my life was raised by like single women. And to me, I just genuinely, because when you grow up, obviously when you're thinking of relationships, you're thinking heteronormatively, you're thinking boyfriend, girlfriend, but not having like men play a role in my life and not having men play a role in like my mom's life or my grandma's life or anyone important to me's life, I genuinely didn't see the use for men. I don't think I really like understood what a boy was until I was like in preschool maybe. But even then, I think that I saw men the way that men see women, used to see women, we'll say used. I saw them as completely just an accessory to my own life. Like if you want sex, you go to a guy. If you want like to cuddle, you go to a guy. If you need something fixed, you go to a guy. And other than that, I really just did not understand their point. And maybe that also is why I'm gay. Because I really like crave mental stimulation, and that would make sense as to why I am kind of gay, is because I only saw the value in women for like 13 years of my life. I kid you not, when my mom got married to my stepdad, she was like, Aleya, this is going to be so good for you. Like, it's going to be so great for you to have like a father figure and like a strong man that's a role model in your life. And I was like, why? Why is that even important? I don't get it. What could he possibly provide in my life? And I think that's why me and my stepdad get along so well right now. But we did not when I was in high school. And I think it's that, not that I even hated him, but I just didn't understand why he was even there. Yeah, so I think that's why I never got in a relationship. I also think that it's because I will say my friends also completely scarred me from relationships. So first of all, as a kid, I watched my mom date, which seemed like a shit show. And second of all of my friends got into relationships before me, and that shit looked miserable. I swear, I got relationship trauma just from like watching my friends experience and having them cry to me. Like, one of my friends, she could never hang out for too long. She always had to end up going with her boyfriend, and he was cheating on her. He was cheating on her, and she was definitely the hotter one in her relationship. So I was like, she's a bad bitch, and she's getting cheated on by an ugly dude? What? No, I don't want to do that. And then my other friend that I was really close with was the girl that he was cheating on his girlfriend with. Like, she was the mistress. And then also, I think it's just that, like, even when I would meet my friends' boyfriends, like, I think that every girl has, like, gone through this. You meet your friend's boyfriend, you meet your friend's girlfriend, and they kind of stare at you like a little too long. And that's not me like talking about myself. I think this happens with every girl because people are horny, you know what I mean? And yeah, you're the person's friend, but they're still like, I think what it is that people love new shiny objects. So like someone may not even find you attractive, but since you're new, they're automatically like, oh my God, she's cute. And so like, I would like be like, why the fuck is he like kind of talking to me weird or flirting? And I was just like, okay, this is not loyal. It just didn't seem appealing. And then also, I genuinely loved being single. And that's not on like a love yourself, you are all you need type of thing. No, when I say I liked being single, I liked being able to hook up with whoever. I liked being able to go to a party, you look around, you're single, and you're like, who am I going to end up with tonight? Who am I going to make out with tonight? How many people am I going to make out with tonight? Wow. Oh my God, Kai, don't get the wrong idea. But when I was single, like, I thought that shit was fun. I think it's also because I love meeting new people. I love getting to know new people. I loved hookup culture. I'm not gonna lie, that is so American, but like, I thought this shit is great. That's why even my single friends now, I'm like, why are you bitching about it? If you just really embrace it, then one, that's how you'll actually love it. And two, once you finally like really embrace it, next thing you know, you're getting cuffed by the love of your life. That is how it always goes. And I don't know why people don't believe that. I think that really is how it goes. You know what it is? Why people don't believe it is because a lot of people think, oh, you know, once I say that I want to be single, then I'm going to be the love of my life. So I love being single. Gun to the head. Like, they don't actually mean it. But I'm saying, like, when you actually breathe in and out and you love it, boom, you're in a relationship. That's just how it goes. You can't have too much fun in life. If you're having a lot of fun being single, you're going to get cuffed. If you're delulu and ignoring all of your partner's red flags because you just want to be in a relationship, then that is how you end up single. You know, it's the way the wind blows. But yeah, that's just kind of why I never got into a relationship in all my life. But I think that historically, I have had really intense friendships. I have experienced how bad a breakup can be through the lens of a friendship. And I feel like people don't talk about this too much because here's the thing with relationships, you have sex, right? You have financial things, you have dates and all that. You live together maybe. I would say with friendships, it's kind of like you have to invest so much with no security. Yeah, you're investing a lot of time and love and energy and compassion and money into someone else without even the security that like they have to reciprocate. There's no security on how long this will last. In a relationship, let's say that even you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, you still have some security in the fact that like people know you're in a relationship, and so you'll always be able to like hold that to them. Friendship, once it ends, it can be a clean cut, you know? And this one in particular, I would say has been one of the hardest. And it's not even that the worst thing possible happened, but it's just that this was a friend that I had for over 5 years. We were friends for almost a decade. We didn't even call each other best friends. We called each other forever friends. Your friends can break your heart. To just kind of go into my history with friendships, I tend to get in really codependent friendships. Like, I pretty much end up dating my friends. I had one friend to where we literally would go to the store together because we were neighbors. We were on the track team together. We worked together. We did all of our extracurriculars together. We carpooled together. We moved to our new college city together. So that's one friendship. My other friendship, I wasn't her roommate, but she pretty much like every time that I wasn't at her house would get mad and be like, why aren't you at my house, Aleya? Like, you should come over. And so I ended up pretty much moving in there because I was living in the dorms as a college freshman. My other friend, I also pretty much lived with her. She drove me everywhere. If I ever needed anything, she let me use her car, which sounds great, but I think that these were all forms of kind of like manipulation and them making me feel like I had to rely on them, because in all of my friendships, I will say, especially when I was younger, like I grew up with not a lot of money. I paid for everything on my own. I was the one who bought my first car. And so all of my friends at that time knew that, and they knew that I was in a vulnerable position. And I was always friends a lot of times with people who either had more resources than me or were older than me. And I feel like that was sometimes taken advantage of, because I've never wanted to rely on people, because I feel like when you do that, people can just rip the rug out from under you. And so it was almost in a way making it to where we would get in an argument like, oh, I don't think I really want to do this, or I don't want to go that with you. Well, you borrowed my car the other day, but I didn't ask to borrow your car. You offered, and you didn't just offer, you kind of like insisted. Well, either way. Well, you spent the night at my house yesterday, but you said that you really needed me to be there. Well, yeah, I guess, but it doesn't matter, you still did it. Even one of my friendships, it wasn't even the weird codependent type, but we were just best friends. I was pretty much integrated into her family, you know, and even that ended in flames. And I guess I could talk about some of the endings. So the one that was pretty much a part of my family, this is how our friendship ended. We went on a hike, right? And we had each had different friend groups, but we were family friends and we were like sisters. We go to a hike. We come back from the hike. She wants to hang out with this group of boys, which I did not want to do, but she was my ride home. And I was like, hey, like, are you still going to take me home after you hang out? Because if not, I can just have my guy friend pick me up because he lives by me and he's cool with it. And he had even texted me like, hey, I know that you're with her and I just want to make sure that you're home safely. She's like, no, yeah, I can bring you home. And I'm like, are you sure? No, like, Aleya, do not go with him. And that's the thing. My friends were always like the boss of me. And I think it's because I didn't have a foot to stand on, because I didn't have a lot of physical things to like provide for them. Long story short, she ends up not taking me home because she's like, well, you know, I need to get home and I need to make it before curfew. And I'm not going to miss curfew when I have a date tomorrow for you. And I was like, wait. Your mom knows me. I've known your mom for a really long time. I'm sure that if you just call her and say, oh, it's because Aleya needs to go home, like, she's not going to ground you, know what I mean? And she's like, I can't do that. She dropped me off on the side of a highway at a Cracker Barrel at 11 p.m. at night. My Lyft app was not working, and I had to hitchhike home with a Cracker Barrel employee and her mom. She dropped me off. She didn't even drop me off at the Cracker Barrel. She dropped me off at a grimy hotel with my backpack. We went hiking. I was in Spanx in a sports bra. And she just dropped me off and was like, I think that you can just get a Lyft from here. My Lyft app isn't working. I have no service. I go walk over to the Cracker Barrel and this girl's waiting for her mom to pick her up. I was like, could I use your phone to just order a Lyft? I log into my account. Like, I literally just need your device. She ended up being like, you're not going to live home. Like, you're young. We'll just drive you. That's one of my friendship breakups. If that gives any context. My other friendship breakup, she was really jealous of Kai, and once I got in a relationship, she kind of wanted nothing to do with me. She said that I talked to Kai too much and hung out with him too much, but we were long distance, so I never understood how that made sense, because trust me, when we were long distance in the beginning, we didn't even FaceTime that much because Kai's in basic training. And that's also the problem, is that my friendships resemble relationships. Like, they are so codependent, it's ridiculous. And I think that when I choose friends, or when I used to choose friends, it was definitely girls that had like a masculine energy to them. I was always a baby in the friendship, but I was always like the girly girl, and I never like put that role on myself, but it was kind of just put on me like, no, Aleya, I'll do this for you. No, I can do this for you. One of my friends learned how to change car batteries for me, you know? But I think that that was used as a way of kind of like manipulating me and kind of like entrapping me, because as much as they did like those physical things for me, I was very heavily relied on emotionally. I was expected to always be there, to always cater to their feelings, to always be that support system. And I'm naturally a very caring person, so I loved doing that. But the more emotional value I gave them, the harder they fucked me up emotionally. Like, to where the dropping off on the side of the highway is like the one that I can talk about right now, because it's the only one that honestly isn't that deep. I mean, one of my friends outed me to our entire track team. And you know what? I think it's because like some of them secretly had a crush on me, which would really make sense because a lot of them were definitely girls who were like, yeah, I'm bi, but I've never been with a girl. And I could see how our friendship kind of like was able to give that relationship. The friendship breakup that I recently went through wasn't one of those codependent homoerotic friendships that I used to have. Yeah, that's the word. All of my friendships used to be pretty homoerotic. Maybe it's because we were all closeted gay and we were having a relationship with each other without having to own our own sexuality. But to me, this was one friendship that I actually was not codependent in. This was supposed to be my healthy friendship, my rooting for each other friendship, and it ended in one of the worst ways possible. She ended up being jealous of me. Oh, I hate even saying that someone is jealous of me. I feel like whenever you say that someone's jealous of you, you literally just sound like an egotistical cunt. You'll see what I'm talking about as I go on the story. So I never honestly ever assumed that that anyone would be jealous of me, because I don't see myself in a light that even can be jealous of, you know what I mean? But throughout our friendship, especially recently, like let's go back to the past 2 years, throughout our friendship, she would always say how she loved being around me. I was this ball of life, and that she didn't go out much. So she like lived through me, met most of her friends through me, engaged with people in my sexual community with me. And I never saw that as a red flag. But when someone tells you that they live through you, I think that should be a red flag, because that can very quickly turn sour. What had happened was I graduated. I guess there's been a shift in my energy lately. I have shed my skin, I would say. I've gotten rid of a lot of bad people in my life, which honestly wasn't really by choice. It was just kind of like I found out what they had going on behind my back. Kind of like how in the last episode, me and Dee talked about a little bit on our shady friend, but I can't get into that for right now. But she had been there for all of my past friendships. She had been there for my past friendship breakups. She was the person that was my golden standard for friendship, who when I was given advice by her, it was taken like, okay, this is what I should do, you know? We got into an argument and I was really shocked by how she was talking to me. Like, it felt very passive aggressive. It felt like she was talking to me like I was a stranger. And here's the thing with friendships is the signs that they tell you to look out for in relationships, you should also look out in friendships. If someone's hyperly passive aggressive with you, red flag. If someone makes you feel like you're crazy and like you're always in the wrong, even when you're just trying to make the situation better, red flag. When someone throws things in your face that you do for each other, I cannot stand that. And it's why I have trouble accepting help from people, is because sometimes I feel like when you accept help from other people, whether it's family, friends, relationships, they throw it in your face, even if you did not want the help in the first place. And I can understand bringing it up if the person's not grateful, because I've seen people like that where the world is handed to them, there's no gratitude. But when there's gratitude and the person also equally contributes to the friendship, I don't think that you should ever pick up something that you did out of the kindness of your heart and throw them back in their face because they didn't ask for it. Just stuff like that was happening. I was just kind of feeling like a weird vibe. Then we got into an argument because there was some miscommunication. I guess I had assumed that we had some of the same interests, because that was what was portrayed to me, was that we were into a lot of the same things, but it was told to me that we are actually not into the same things, and that I actually make her feel like she needs to be into the same things as me. It was just like, Aleya, you do this and you make me feel like this and you tell me that I have to like this, which is really crazy, because it's like, okay, imagine you and your friend really bond over liking, I don't know, let's say you're in the same sport, you really like played soccer together or something, and you bond over soccer, and then all of a sudden a year or two down the road they start saying you're the one who forces me to like soccer, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I thought that was a mutual interest that we shared. But nonetheless, this was a friendship that had gone on for so long. It was a friendship that I truly cherished. And so I wanted to work on it. I sent a very long voice note saying how I wanted to work on things. And one of the problems with the friendship was that she communicated that she didn't really know herself and she didn't know what she liked. So I said, you know what? Like, I think this friendship can still work. Let's both take time to reflect on ourselves. And when we both know ourselves, let's pick it back up. Let's reintroduce ourselves. It sounds corny, but like, let's do the hi, because I wanted it, you know? And then I get a text. And the text is so rude. Here's the thing. One thing that she told me that she didn't like was social media. I thought it was a common interest. That was one of the big things. I was like, okay, whatever. But here's the thing. The reason why she sent me a really mean text was because two people that I'm really close to unfollowed her on Instagram. I didn't even know that they unfollowed her on Instagram. They unfollowed her for their own reasons. It had nothing to do with what happened between us, because honestly with us, I didn't talk about it because I was in a positive position. I thought we were working on it, so there's no need to like say anything negative and talk shit, you know? So they must have unfollowed her for their own reasons that have nothing to do with me. And the text just goes off on me about the unfollow on social media. I did not unfollow her. So I'm so confused. I'm like, why am I getting cussed out because two people that I know unfollowed you, but you don't care about social media? That doesn't make sense. And it is just like berating me. And I'm like, hey, first of all, this is why I have been alarmed in our friendship, is that like we don't discuss things. Like if it were me, I would be like, hey, did they unfollow me for a reason? Da 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 da. Like I wouldn't just jump at someone's throat, but there was no asking. It was just, I see how you tell people to unfollow me. I see how this, and this, and I didn't deserve that, whatever. And I explained to her, like, I didn't even know that they had followed you. And she's like, regardless of the unfollow, I just don't believe in taking breaks in friendships. And here's the thing, when someone doesn't believe in taking breaks, that is a red flag to me, because if you don't believe in taking breaks, how are you ever going to better relationships or like set aside time for your own mental health? I don't know. I think breaks happen in all relationships. I mean, people name family members that they didn't talk to for a year and then they're fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in breaks, blah, blah, blah. And I can't be friends with you anymore because let's be honest, Aleya, whenever I'm around you, I feel less than you. And that is when I knew why the friendship wasn't working anymore. It was because of insecurity, and it was so confusing because I hold anyone that I'm friends with, I hold on a fucking pedestal. I think that they are the shit. I will hype you up. I dive into friendships the same way that I do relationships. And for a friendship to end because you feel less than me because you're comparing yourself to me, I should have known that this was the reason, because in our argument she kept saying, I miss the Aleya from high school, the one with braces, the one who like was just goofy. You miss the Aleya from high school? The Aleya from high school, okay, yeah, I had braces. I didn't know how to do my hair. It was frizzy. I was in the closet. I was hypersexual with men. I didn't know myself. I was extremely depressed. My family was broke. I didn't have a car. I didn't have any resources. I was working 30 hours a week. The Aleya in high school had nothing. The Aleya in high school was so down in the gutter that like the only thing I could focus on was the day that was happening that day. Like, I do have anxiety, but anxiety can quickly turn into depression. And I will say that that was an extremely depressing period of my life. And you're gonna throw in my face that I'm not the person from high school anymore? Thank fucking God I'm not that person anymore. Because if I was that person anymore, I wouldn't have anything. I leveled up. I took care of myself. I became the adult that I needed in my own life. And she knew how hard that period of my life was for me. What that tells me, in combination with that text that I received, is that you can't be friends with me when I am doing well. That is another red flag in your friendships. If you ever feel like someone's jealous of you, again, I just like hate saying that because it literally sounds like you have a big head, but let's take away out the jealous part. If you think that someone may be insecure around you, envy you, want something you have, right? I want you to take a step back and think, would they be happy for me if I was successful? Would they be happy for me if I got something better going for me. And I will say that in all of my friendship endings, whether it was a homoerotic one, a codependent one, all of these friendships ended when something better happened for me because they weren't happy for my success. They weren't wishing me well. They weren't hoping that I did good. And they wanted to be friends with me at that point in my life because I made them feel better about themselves because I didn't have shit going for me at that point. And I think that if you are in a toxic friendship, if you're in a toxic relationship, pay attention to if they are happy for you when you succeed. If you feel like you just accomplished a goal and you can't tell them about it because you're going to make them feel bad about themselves, drop them. Because you cannot be friends when jealousy, envy, and insecurity are in place, because that is a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for toxicity. That is a recipe for bringing you back down to the person that you used to be. And I talked to my mom about this. I talked to my best friend's mom about this. And I was saying, like, me and my friend are having this really rough time, this, and this. I read the text and they were like, Aleya, at first, I thought that it would work out between the two of you, but I hate to break it to you, but this friendship isn't going to work because you can never make a friendship like that work without the person probably ending up hurting you. In the hindsight, some of the advice that I got was, if you want to know how to spot if they're not happy for your success, if you achieve a goal, listen to see if they make it about them. If you graduate and they say, I just can't wait till I go to like a real college. I went to a university, UTSA, Roadrunners. I went to a fucking university, magna cum laude, but I didn't go to real school. If you tell them, oh, me and my boyfriend are doing great. Oh, well, you know, when my relationship, if they just instantly make it about themselves, they don't have the bandwidth to be happy for you. And I guess I've never just really understood this because for me, like, I'm not jealous of my friends. I am genuinely always rooting for my friends. I get jealous of people on Instagram. I get jealous of the people that are not my friends that I see having these perfect aesthetic lives. Those are the people I'm jealous of. Those are the people that keep me up at night. Those are my demons to fight. I think it's also because, do you ever meet people that like you were so envious of maybe, or you maybe wanted to be like them? This happens to me all the time whenever I watch reality TV. Like, I may be super like, oh, I wish I was like her, or how did she get handed this and this? And then I learn her backstory, or I learn more about just what's going on in her life in the present. And I'm like, life is a totem pole. Life is an equal exchange. You get something good, there's something else going on behind the scenes, and you're like, okay, it makes sense. That is why I just cannot fathom when you have known me for this long, when you know how unsparkly my life is, that like that could even be a feeling towards me. It feels like, did you ever listen to anything that I've actually said? It's like when you finally make it over the hurdle, your friends should be at the finish line rooting for you, not that they had more fun watching you struggle, watching you run, watching you sweat. It just, one, it makes me feel extremely invalidated in how transparent I had been with her. It also just like, it makes me feel like, I don't know what the word is, but it makes me feel fucking weird because I don't see myself as someone who has made it. I am always trying to get to that next level, get to that next step, and I always feel like I fall short. I don't see myself as someone who could cause another person any of those emotions. Like, I struggle with imposter syndrome constantly. I love this podcast so much. I love the work that I do, but I struggle with views. I struggle with my engagement. I struggle with self-doubt. It's a new podcast. I'm coming at it completely raw. I am so aware that I only have a certain amount of followers on this. I'm so aware that I only have a certain amount of listeners, and I'm fucking grateful for that, but I just don't see myself at that level. And even if I was, I don't want my friends to feel like that around me. That's kind of what has brought me peace, is that in all of these friendship breakups, they've all told me that I kind of did nothing wrong, which also makes me feel crazy because then it's like, what the fuck? why the fuck is this happening? It's like when someone breaks up with you and they say it's not you, it's me. And you're like, either way, it's affecting me. So what the fuck did I do to deserve this? I know what I did to deserve this. I don't think that I'm codependent in the sense that I need you to do stuff for me, because I'm perfectly cool if I have a friendship. I've had many friendships to where the person did not benefit me at all. But I'm codependent in the way that like I take care of the person emotionally. Like I take on their emotions. I want to be their cheerleader. I want to be there for them. If I have a friend, I want to be your fucking best friend. When it comes to friendship, I want to be your fucking everything. And that is a trait I need to work on, because it's okay to have friendships where you are not their number one. And those are probably the best ones, because as soon as someone tells you their secrets, what do you always hear? The person who knew the secret gets killed first. Whenever you know someone's secrets, that is when they start fucking you over. That's when they want to drop you, because you're the only person that knows the real them. And I will say that with all these friendships, I have been one of the few people that has known their secrets. And I think that becomes too much for them, because as much as they enjoyed opening up and getting it off their chest, now you're the person to where they look you in the eyes and they know that you know stuff about them that they maybe don't want you to know. I think that I also I don't want to cry. I don't trust my taste in people anymore. And I don't trust my taste in friends at all. I don't trust myself to pick people that are gonna make my life more enriching, because historically I have chosen so many fucked up. I don't think that there is good people or bad people. I think that there's a lot of people where they have good in them, but they're not necessarily good people. And I really value human connection. And it sucks when it feels too scary to do that anymore. It sucks when it feels too scary to meet new people or to open up. That got deep. Whew. On a lighter note, how with everything bad comes something good, maybe something funny, maybe a little comedic relief to make it okay. I am personally someone who keeps everything on my notes. If you're like, Aleya, be here this time, typing in my notes. If I need to record this podcast, typing stuff in my notes. If I need to write an Instagram caption, my notes. If I need to text someone a really long paragraph, my notes. I have all my notes all the way back to 2019, pre-COVID notes app things, which basically makes it historic. I feel like if you have something from before COVID and it made it through here to 2024, that's historical, put me in a fucking museum. When there's a digital museum, people are gonna put up my notes. I used to have this toxic trait to when I went through friendship breakups, I just took it upon myself to let you know what the fuck you did wrong to me. Here's the thing. I think that everyone deserves to know what's going on in their own lives. So if I'm mad at you, I think that you deserve to know. I'm not going to be passive aggressive and treat you like shit and you have no idea. So when I went through friendship breakups, I let them know exactly why. And where did I type that out on? My fucking notes app. And so I was thinking maybe we should read one of them, because they're kind of funny. These are going to be over 3 years old. I was a fucking different person. I was 18. I was a fucking bitch. And even though someone did me wrong, honestly, now I still don't believe in taking the high road when people do you wrong. I don't think that you should ever seek out revenge, but I don't think that you need to wish them well. I don't think you need to forgive them. I think you could just wipe your hands clean and never fucking talk to them again. When you see them on the streets, you don't need to say hello, you don't need to smile, you don't need to pick up their call ever. So these were kind of just my last words before they were cut out of my life and didn't exist anymore. We should read one of them. Okay, let's just see. Let me grab my phone. I feel like I need to sit crisscross applesauce for this. This feels like a fucking sexting thing with you guys. My notes are more intimate than my fucking nudes, I feel like. No, listen to this. Class of 2020 varsity sprinter 200. I literally have my emails for when I was trying to go to college for track. My God, I have my unemployment confirmation number. I never did get COVID unemployment, but I'm kind of glad, because I heard that some people had to pay it back. When I used to be part of multi-level marketing, that is a story for another day. I'm sure some of you might know me from then. It's kind of embarrassing. I think we found one. Ding, ding, ding. It's titled, Why I'm Upset. And this is from September 19th, 2020. Why I'm upset. Your own issues that sink into our friendship. You get in terrible moods that ruin the vibe. You're closed off and don't communicate. You blame a lot of negative emotions on me. You only talk to me when you're drunk. You never care to listen to how I feel. You see what I mean by me and my friends were in relationships. Okay. Invalidate everything because you have it harder, quotation marks. Immaturity has come out recently. You drink to drown away your problems. Example, Okay, so this was because I took her to a party and like I did not know any of these girls. It was when I first started working at Hooters in Abilene, and I invited her. That way she could also make friends, and she blacked out, threw up on herself all over in the bathroom and all over my friend's apartment. I mean, the girl wasn't even my friend yet. My first impression was bringing someone who blacked out when no one else was drunk and threw up all over her bathroom, and I think she broke the toilet. You need to grow up and figure out your own solutions. I can't communicate with you because it's just going to make you quote unquote nervous. You don't know how hard I have it because I can't talk to you. You are hurtful to me constantly. You outed me. Oh, this is the girl who told everyone I was gay. Here's the tea with this girl that told everyone I was gay. After a friendship ended, she went and got my old position at my old job. She started fucking the guy that was into me. She became friends with all the people who I was friends with. And then she told everyone that we made out and I was a bad kisser. We never made out. I have met some weirdos. First of all, why are you lying to people that we did something physical? Are you a fucking man? Because only guys lie about that shit. That was the one where she got the job at the same place I got one. She went to a school next to mine. When we eventually went to Abilene together, she then got a job where I worked. I don't know where I meet these people. You would think that I met everyone on fucking Craigslist. Don't think this friendship is important to you because, oh, she told me, I genuinely have no impact on your life. I don't know if I should read another one. Let's see. Should we read a second one? Okay, this one was to an old coworker. I don't care about your business really, because honestly, I don't think I can consider us friends anymore. You've been a complete bitch at work, and trust me, I'm not the only one who's noticed. You have a superiority complex and boss everyone around and expect people to run your food and do your work. You didn't have soccer for 2 months, and I didn't say anything. And then you bitch out everyone because you want to be cut after getting there at 7. You hustled my tables. Hustled my tables means basically when you're a server, you go up to someone else's table and you get money from them. This is like really old drama. This is also for 2020, so it's like extremely irrelevant to my life now, but just so you get context so you don't think I'm just like going off the deep end like rage texting. Then who the fuck do you are telling Sergio I didn't do my outs Saturday night after I doubled? I got checked out by him. That's why these two girls didn't listen to you, because you were rude and you don't even work enough to have an opinion on anyone else. So don't ask me about your quote unquote mans, because I don't give a fuck about your life and it's not even my business. I don't even know the kid's first name. Oh, I think someone she was into DM'd me and I never DM'd him back ever because I knew that they were quote unquote talking. First of all, I came to you with the DM, so why are you mad that I received it? Friendship. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. This is how I know I've grown as a person, is because for this current friendship breakup, I did not send a notes text. I honestly just sent a thumbs up, liked, peace. Hooray for growth, although I think that Aleya was way more Aries than me and so funny. Wow, guys. I hope that I didn't dump too much on you. I hope that you still consider us the besties, because I would never clone you. I would never talk shit about you. And I would never screw you over because I fucking love y'all. Here are some ideas that people gave me about names for everyone listening was cunties, like tease, cunties. But then my only problem is that like I really would have to like make sure that I don't get demonetized for saying that all the time. Demonetized. I'm not even monetized yet. What am I fucking saying? Cunties was one, and then hunties was one. Hunties is kind of cute. It reminds me of like Y2K. Like I remember 2010 when everyone said hunties. So that's one, but if you have better ideas, send them to me. Make sure to send in your questions, stories, advice. It's completely anonymous, but like I just want us to like chit chat, girl talk. Make sure to follow the podcast on all socials, Tease Podcast, except Instagram, it's Tease Pod. I am Aleya Antoine at all socials, and most importantly, rate the show 5 stars wherever you're listening from, please. Even if you're watching this on YouTube, but you have a Spotify account, can you just like hop over there just really quick and just like 5 stars it on as much as you can. Leave a review if you want, and share it with your friends, your family. Share it with someone who has a hard time navigating friendship, because I think that I could have really used this episode to prevent getting cloned and getting dropped off at a Cracker Barrel in the middle of the night. But who cares? I love you guys so fucking much. I really appreciate y'all for listening all the way till episode 3. I mean, whenever you start something new, you get really scared that no one's gonna show up, and y'all have genuinely made me feel fulfilled, made me feel happy, and made me feel appreciative, and made me feel like this is all for something, and I really appreciate that. And so I will see y'all next week, next Tease Tuesday. We're gonna have a special guest. Who will it be? Okay, see you later, hunties, cunties. Send in your ideas. No, I'm not making friends again. Now when I say it out loud, I understand how fucking